Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mrs. G. We are going to work through this past paper. This is from last year, June 2019. We are going to go through each question individually so you can figure out exactly how we would think through each question to get the correct answer. Let us begin. So this one says item 1 to 4 refers to the following map extract at a scale of 1 to 50,000 meters. This is the map. We will look at the question and then we get back to the map. The question says, what is the direction of the trigonometrical station at Shotover? And it gives you the 6-figure grid reference right here from Robertson's Halt. And it gives you the 6-figure grid reference as well, so that it is easier for you to figure out exactly where they are talking. So we look at the words in the question. What is the direction of trig station from Robertson's Halt? So that's where we are going to be starting. Trig station here at Shotover, Robertson's Halt here. That's where we're starting from. So if we're drawing our north-south line here, it means that we would draw our next line to connect to Shotover. So it would have been between east and south, right in the center. So we look at our responses and we see southeast. So your answer for number 1 would have been B. For number 2, what is the contour interval in feet in grid square 7045, which is labeled T? Let's look back at the map. 7045, so it's in this square and it is labeled T. And they're asking for the contour interval. So you'd have to look closer at the numbers that are there. Let us just zoom in a little. The numbers that are there, we're seeing 500, 750, 1000. So the interval is basically when you take away the numbers, you see how much numbers is in between. So that would have been 250 in between. That would have been the contour interval. So back to the question. Your answer is there, 250. So number 2 would have been D. For number 3, the height in feet of the highest point in grid square 7045, which is labeled T. So they're asking you to identify the highest point in the grid and say what the height is in feet. Back at the grid here, started at 500. If we're going up by 250, even if it is a little difficult to see the numbers, you know that you're going up by 250. So you can count it yourself. So this one would have been, we're seeing 1000, 1250. The next one that is not labeled would have been 1500. The next one, 1750. So this is 2000, even though it is not very visible. So 2000 and the next one, 2025. The highest point is right here in the center, the small circle. So that means our next contour interval, or next contour line, sorry, based on the contour interval, would have made this 250. So we go back to our section here that is asking for an answer. Your answer for number 3 would have been B, 2500. Number 4, what is the grid bearing of Robertson's Halt from the trigonometrical station at Shotover? Notice they switch these. So number 1 was asking you from Robertson's Halt. Number 4 is asking you from the trig station. So let's figure this out for a second. So if we know already that our answer over here was southeast, and they're asking us for the opposite direction, the opposite cardinal point for southeast would have been northwest. And if we're doing northwest based on the cardinal points, we know that north is 360 degrees. So if it's northwest, that is our answer. This would have to be out. It could not possibly be 355 because that's just 5 degrees away from north. 65 and 115 would have been over the eastern side. Therefore, our answer would easily be 295. Of course, when you are doing this, you would place your protractor on the map and you would actually just work it out. But in the interest of time, you can sometimes look at the answers and figure out which one really does not fit. For number 5, items 5 to 7 refer to the following table showing annual rainfall and temperature figures for a certain location. So you're seeing all of the figures for temperature here in degrees Celsius, rainfall here in millimeters, and you're seeing the first letter of every month. So this question is asking for the temperature range. Now to work out temperature range, a lot of persons mix that up sometimes with average temperature. So we're not required to average the numbers here. So 25 and 27 would already be out. What you're doing is finding the range, the temperature range. So you are going to find your lowest temperature, which is 25, and your highest temperature, which is 28, and then you're going to subtract. So 25 from 28 is going to give you 3 degrees. That is how you get your answer for number 5. That is letter B, 3 degrees Celsius. For number 6, the rainfall pattern indicates A, rain throughout the year. We are seeing that it is raining throughout the year, yes, but we want to check through the others just to make sure. B, rain only in the cooler months, not correct. Rain only in the warmer season, not correct. Little variation in the rainfall from month to month. So we're seeing 5 here between these two. Then we have a 65 interval between these two. Then between these, it is a 50 interval. So we are seeing some amount of fluctuation. So we would not say it is D either. So we would say that the answer is A. It gives rain throughout the entire year. So for number 7, the type of climate experienced at this location may be described as tropical marine. So we are seeing where it is warm all year round. We are also seeing where there is rainfall all year round as well. Let's go to number 8. Number 8 refers to the following diagram of a river. In what general direction is the river flowing? Alright, let's look at the answers. Now let's look at the graph first. So we are seeing the river and we are seeing all the contour lines here. We know already from primary school that rivers will flow from the highest point to the lowest point. And based on the numbers here, our highest point, the 300-meter line, would have been up here. 300 goes all the way down where we have 100 meters. So our river is running from here down to here. Now for the question, what is the general direction that the river is flowing in? Is it east to west? No. North to south, we can see that it's not that either. Southwest to northwest, southwest to northeast. So if we had a pencil and a ruler, we could draw our north-south line here, and we would realize that over this section would have been right in the middle of south and west. So it is southwest, and it is running in the opposite direction. It would have been between north and east. So it would have been, for our answer, it would have been southwest to northeast. So the answer for number 8 would have been D. For number 9, which of the following phrases refers to eastings? Now, easting lines get their name from the direction that the numbers increase in. Yes, so the numbers would have been increasing in an easterly direction, so we call them eastings. So vertical lines that decrease in value eastwards, no, because they don't decrease in value eastwards. Vertical lines that increase in value eastwards, yes, this would have been your answer. That is B. We can still look through the others. Horizontal lines that increase in value northwards, they're not horizontal any at all. So these two would have already been out, and we know that eastings increase in value in an easterly direction. That's how they get their name, so that would have been number 9. I would love to know if you're benefiting so far and if you like the explanations. So please click the like button below if you do, and leave a comment. And if you have not subscribed yet, please ensure that you do so. So now we are at number 10. So for number 10, it says the lowest number of visitors in any month was, and it gives you the options. We have to pay attention to the graph. On this axis, it gives us cruise visitors in thousands, and at the bottom here, it gives us the first letter in every month. So the question is asking for the lowest number of visitors in any month. So from the graph, we're seeing that this would have been the lowest, and it is actually on the line. So when we go across, we see 30. Now our answer can't be 30 because the cruise visitors is actually in thousands. So our answer then would have been 30,000. So we go back here and we have 30,000. So your answer for number 10 would have been C. Now for number 11, the highest number of visitors arrived during, and it gives you the seasons. Highest number of visitors would have been this section where we are seeing that is at the top of the graph. The highest part here is in what season? That is between June, July, and August. So that is summer. So your answer for number 11 would have been D. Items 12 to 13 is referring to the following sketch map of an area. So we can look at the map first, or you can just go straight to the question to see exactly what it is asking you for. Then you check the map based on what the question is asking you for. So number 12, which of the following types of settlements will most likely develop between Y and Z? So let's find Y and Z. Alright, so this is Y, this is Z. It is asking what type of settlement would develop between this area. So let's pay attention to what is between this area. We're seeing this symbol here, which according to the key is a road. And you may already know the answer just by thinking of settlement along a road. It is usually a linear pattern because you are literally settling in a line. So we look for linear in the answer section, and that would have been A. So your answer for number 12 would have been A. Since it is along, let me just explain the rest. Since it is along the roadway here from Y to Z, you will notice that behind Y and Z, there is 2 contour lines. So it shows that there is elevated land at the back. It also shows that towards the south here, there's also elevated land. So this area is a stretch of flat land along the roadway that would cause development to take place or settlement to take place in a linear pattern. For number 13, what type of farming system is most likely to exist at X? So let's look at X. This is X. We're looking at a type of farming system. There's poultry rearing, shifting cultivation, subsistence farming, and commercial arable farming. So for X, we realize that number 1, it is a wide range of land, wide space. Secondly, it is flat land. And looking at the key, this broken line is representing estate boundaries. So we can see that all of this area is considered an estate. Now, if you utilize your knowledge of Caribbean agriculture, estates is large-scale farming. So large-scale farming, based on the question here, is similar to commercial arable farming. So our answer for number 13 would have been D. Number 14, the relationship between longitude and time is that the time changes by A, 1 hour for 20 degrees, 1 minute for 4 degrees, 4 minutes for 1 degree, or 24 hours for 180 degrees. The answer for that one is C, 4 minutes for 1 degree. If you have other basic knowledge regarding longitude and time, you know at least that 15 degrees would have equal to 1 hour. There, for the 15 degrees, equals 1 hour. 1 hour is similar to 60 minutes. So if you were to divide 15 into 60, your answer would have been 4. So 4 minutes would be equal to 1 degree. So your answer for number 14 is C. For number 15, the main factor which explains the difference between weather and climate is time. Weather is the conditions, atmospheric conditions of an area over a short period of time, while climate is over a longer period of time. So the main factor which differentiates them would have been time. Your answer for number 15 would have been A. Number 16. A traveler made the following observations. It was hot and rained heavily every day. The trees grew very tall and there was little undergrowth. Which of the following forest vegetation types was the traveler describing? For areas that are hot and raining heavily every day, out of the options that are there, montane, deciduous, equatorial, and semi-evergreen, it would have been the equatorial climate. So for 16, the answer would have been C. Number 17. Which of the following statements is true based on the information given in the graph. So in the graph, we have a climograph, which we're going to be using for items 17 to 18. So we're going to assess each statement. Which of the following statements is true based on the information given in the graph? So A, the hottest months of the year are also the driest. So let's explain the graph first. At the top here, the line that goes across, this line is showing temperature. Temperature is in degrees Celsius and the numbers are on this side. The bars at the base, these are showing rainfall, and the quantity of rainfall is in millimeters. So, back to A. The hottest months of the year are also the driest. Let's look at the hottest months. Hottest months would have had the higher temperature. So here would have been our highest temperature. And it says hottest months of the year are also the driest. They have a small amount of rainfall. And when we come to the middle section here, that is between May, June, and July, we are seeing an elevated period of rainfall, but we are also seeing a reduction in the temperature, so that would not have been correct. And we come to December, where there is another elevation in temperature. At that area, there is a reduction in rainfall. So the hottest months of the year are also the driest months of the year. 17, your answer would have been A. Number 18, the annual range of temperature is approximately. Now, to find out the annual range of temperature, let's pay attention to the temperature again. We have, remember, range is between highest and lowest. So we have our highest temperature. We can The question said approximately, so we can estimate. Here, temperature, this is 20. We're close to 25, so we can say the highest would have been approximately 24 degrees Celsius. And our lowest here, 10, maybe 11. So 24 minus 11 would have given us 13. So our answer in this case would have been 12. The annual range of temperature is approximately 12 degrees. So that is letter B. Items 19 to 20 refer to the following maps of Tobago. So we have 1, 2, 3 maps. One is showing the relief of the land, the other is showing annual rainfall, and the third one is showing land use. The question: most of the areas of forest vegetation shown in map T is found in areas with, and you have the options. So let's find map T and find the area with forest cultivation. So we are seeing this middle section here based on the key. So all of this area is forest vegetation. So we know where it is. Here are the options. So most of the area of forest vegetation shown in the map, in map T, is found in areas with A, cocoa cultivation. So we would look back at the map that has land use, and we're seeing that cocoa cultivation here is around this section. So that would not have been correct because it is not showing us the area that has forest cultivation. Secondly, B, 1500 millimeters of rainfall. So we need to look at the rainfall map to see if that same section has 1500 millimeters of rainfall. So remember, this is the section that we're looking at. And we're looking if it has 1500 millimeters of rainfall based on the key here, 1500 to 2500. Would have been on the outskirts here. The area that is shaded where we have our forest vegetation is actually over 2500 millimeters. So B would not have been the answer either. C, low annual rainfall. Low annual rainfall would have been under 1000 meters. The area under 1000 meters is in white. So that would have been the outskirts of the land. So that would not have been our answer either. The one that we have left is the highest elevation. So just to double check, most of the area of forest vegetation is found in areas with the highest elevation. So we would look at the relief map, and this section here, highest elevation, is over 450 meters or 300 to 450 meters. So our area that we are using for the forest is right at the top here, which, yes, it is the highest area of elevation. So our answer for number 19 would have been D. For number 20, the information given by the maps indicate that the areas of coconut cultivation are 1. Under 150 meters in height. Let us check that one first. So the area given by the maps indicates that the area of coconut cultivation, let's find the coconuts. So the coconuts would have been the dotted areas on the outskirts here. So they are under 150 meters in height. Let us check. For height, remember you look at the relief map. Under 150 meters would have been in white. So that would have been all of the outskirts there. So yes, under 150 meters, that would have been one of our answers. So far we can eliminate letter C because it does not have 1 in there. 2, have under 1500 millimeters of rainfall. Let us check. For rainfall, remember we're looking at the areas that have coconuts, that's on the outskirts. 1500, it said under 1500 millimeters of rainfall. So that is either dotted or in white. And that is correct as well. All of the areas where we have coconut is either dotted or in white. So 2 would have also been correct. And thirdly, have under 1000 millimeters of rainfall. When we are looking at the areas again, under 1000 millimeters of rainfall would be all white. But if you notice, there are some sections here where there are coconuts growing that are not in white on this map. So not all the areas have rainfall that is under 1000 millimeters. So the only things that we have correct are 1 and 2. So our answer for number 20 would have been A. Moving on to number 21. Again, remember, if you like the video, please select the like button below or leave a comment just to let us know. Number 21 refers to the following map. A contour profile from point R to point X would look like, and then you're supposed to select one. There they are. So point R to point X would have been right across here. So you would end up with, based on the contour interval, you'd end up with 40. This is 80, 120. You would touch 120 again. So on your contour profile, you would end up with a small peak. And you would go across to 80 again, and then the height would reduce but a little steeper. Just by looking at the map here, you can already, without even drawing the profile, see that there is a large area of flatland across here. So you can look at the answers and start an elimination process. So the large area of flatland would not have been this, because this has some amount of elevation. Large area of flatland might be this, and we could assume that it could also be this just by looking, and it would not be this. So at the moment we are looking at either letter B or letter C for our answer. So we are seeing where there is a wide area of flatland, then a slight elevation, small peak. The elevation continues until there is a relatively gentle decrease. So we are convinced that it would have been letter C for the answer. So we are going across gently just the same. We have a sharp elevation here. We are elevated for a while, and then there is a gentle decrease. So our answer for number 21 would have been letter C. Number 22. Which of the following features are found at T on the map? Let us find T on the map. Okay, so at T here, based on the key, this is sand. So this is a beach. We are already sure of the beach, so we can look at our responses. Bay and beach, headland and bay, beach and headland, cliffs and coral reef. So we are looking at either option A or option C. Now based on the curve in the coastline here, we are already convinced that it is a bay, especially since it is nestled between two projections. We cannot say that it is a headland based on the height of the land at these areas. Right at the coastline here, we are not seeing any close contour lines that would suggest any cliff faces. So we are going to go with bay and beach. So for 22, our answer would have been A. For 23, which of the following words best describe the slope represented by the contour lines between T and V? Let us see what the answers are first. Steep, gentle, moderate, and undulating. So from T to V, right across here, we would say that it is rather steep, since you move from one contour line to the next very quickly. Some persons would say from 0 to 100 real quick. That way, it suggests to you that it is very steep land. So we are going to call 23 letter A. Number 24 is based on the following graph, which shows the relative value of exports for primary and manufactured products from 4 Caribbean territories in 1 year. So 24 says, for which of the following territories was the value of manufactured products exported greater than 75% of the total exports? So it is between the 4 countries that are there, and we're looking for the one that has manufactured goods that are greater than 75%. So manufactured goods is in black. And this is showing us percentage of exports by value. Manufactured goods in black, so we are looking for black that is more than 75%. So even though these, which are primary products, are stretching past 75% here, we also need to pay attention to the fact that the manufactured goods, manufactured products, start from this end. So it would have stretched past the 75%. So it's as if this section is 0. This would have been 25, 50, and then this would have been 75. So our answer for number 24 would have been Barbados, which is letter A. Number 25, which of the following plate margins is shown? Here we are looking for plate margins, so we need to first look at the direction of movement. So we are seeing the arrow pointing this way, and then we are seeing the subduction taking place here. And basically, the plates are colliding, or they're coming towards each other, or they're converging. That means our answer for that question would have been convergent. That is letter C for 25. For 26, which of the following features are shown at R? At R here we can see the elevations. It is basically a line. They're basically in a line. Our answer for that one would have been volcanoes. At a convergent plate margin, remember that it is the entire block that is pushing towards each other. So the same way that at the front where we show a cross section there's a volcano, it means that in a line right behind the volcano here, there are other possible volcanoes. So you may end up with a chain of volcanic islands. So for 26, our answer is letter A. Number 27 refers to the following diagram of a cross-section of the Earth's crust. So the section which starts at 2,900 kilometers from the surface is called, and it gives you the options. So we're looking for 2,900 kilometers from the surface. So this is our surface, which is the external area here, represented here. So this is our surface, and the section that starts at 2,900 kilometers would have been our mantle. So our answer for number 27 is letter D. Number 28 and 29 will use this specific table. So 28, Barbados has a population density of approximately, and it gives you the options. How do we find population density? Density is basically referring to the amount of persons within a square mile of an area. So it takes in the population as well as the entire area that you have. So to find the density, you would divide the population by the amount of square miles that you get. And in this case, your answer would have been 1,678. So that is letter C for number 28. For number 29, a comparison of the population densities of the 4 countries shows that A, Guyana has a higher density than Jamaica. Let's see Guyana and Jamaica. Guyana has 9, Jamaica has 630, so that is not correct. Barbados has a lower density than Jamaica. Barbados has 1678 because we found it over here at letter C. And Jamaica has 630 persons living per square mile, so that is not correct either. Barbados has a higher density than Guyana. Barbados has 1678, Guyana has 9, so that one would have been correct. Our answer for number 29 would have been letter C. Number 30. As one climbs a mountain, the surrounding temperature decreases. The further up you go, the cooler it gets. So that means the temperature would have decreased. So for number 30, that would have been letter A. We are going to pause here for now. If you would like us to continue by completing the entire past paper for 2019, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Please ensure that you like the video, and we will continue going on. We really hope that you're understanding, and we hope that you are learning exactly how to master this multiple choice exam that you have coming up. Once again, we want to thank you so much for watching. We always enjoy having you, and we would like to continue having you watching. So please ensure that you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.